You're tuned into In Tune, the fastest 2 hours on the net.
That's really what's going on in my world. So, anyway, I thought we have SongBird4Trump who is going to join us on the show tonight. I'm really excited about her. It's going to be a great, great show. She is just a fabulous person, a great singer, and I will give you a little history on her just so you know. Let me grab it for you here. Well, here it is. So there's a lot to her. She has been doing this for quite some time, and just an amazing, she honestly is one of those people that has been around and has done things for the music movement. She's part of Grassroots Productions, and I'm actually going to put this on the screen for you guys so we can share too. So I'm going to share with you as well and show you a little bit about who she is.
And Legacy made it. Yes, you did, Legacy. Q and How you doing, Legacy?
So here we go. She is SongBird4Trump, Grassroots Production. She's SongBird4Trump's sidekick and creator is Sweet and Salty Christina. She was born in New York. She's a singer-songwriter. Christina has performed for kings, ambassadors, and dignitaries, led concerts and seminars in churches and for women's group across the United States, has regularly appeared on Christian TV programs and radio, and has hosted 2 of her own local cable shows over the career span of 40 years, including ministering the gospel of Jesus Christ to 100,000 inmates across the United States over a 10-year span. She has sung in a number of countries. She is married to a lawyer who is also an ordained minister. She has held administrative as well as executive positions in corporate America. Christina is a first-generation American. She is a proud patriot and holds America first in her heart.
Wow.
On June 16,
Wow.
2015, Christina catapulted out of her recliner and screamed yes at the TV. She jumped on the Trump train and hasn't looked back. SongBird4Trump was born. Christina dedicated full-time energy to campaign and speak loudly for Donald J. Trump on Twitter. Over the past 5 years, she has created 270 plus patriotic song videos to promote President Trump and to combat lies with the truth, believing that fighting to retain our constitutional freedom is of utmost importance.
Well, there goes my Guinness Book of World Records. 2 people shouted it.
Yeah, I know, you're gone. you're in a far third now.
We got to come up with a new record to go for.
She stands with all who support President Trump and who work with him to make America great again. In addition to her song videos, Christina has created over 1,000 memes for various patriot groups and candidates on Twitter to help get their message out. She may be the creator of all things SongBird4Trump, but says Birdie is the star of the show. So it's going to be great to interview her. She is going to be fantastic.
If you tell me that she also runs an orphanage for about 172 kids, that's it. I'm out of here. That means she's done it all. There's nothing else. What a resume. I cannot wait.
I know.
to
It's
hang
going to
out
be
with her.
great. It's going to be absolutely a fantastic show. So let everybody know that she is going to be joining us this evening. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say one thing, which I'm really sad about. She's got so many amazing songs. Unfortunately, a lot of them are kind of karaoke pieces, but you guys are going to have an amazing rabbit hole to go down when you start to look and see her career and what she's done. She's got so many songs. All of them are amazing. She's got a beautiful voice. She does a really great job. Unfortunately, we can't play them on our show for copyright reasons. But you guys, when you dig in and start to do your research and want to get, dig more deeply into Christine, you're going to have a great time because she's got so much stuff to look at. So that's
and this is what we're trying to avoid. For example, here we are with an email. Remember, I told you I write Periscope all the time because we've been permanently banned.
Yeah.
I write them all the time. Well, I just got this latest email back from them. Hello, your account has been permanently banned due to repeat violations of the Periscope community guidelines. This will not be reversed. Thanks.
What, you
Periscope.
can't say scuzzball Nazis?
We weren't even there long enough We weren't even there long enough to have repeat violations. I don't even know what
Unbelievable.
happened.
Oh,
So,
Michael,
anyway,
thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Mike.
thank you, Michael. We
That's
appreciate that.
awesome.
That's awesome. Fantastic. So that's the one we're going to end on because it looks like we have Songbird for Trump who is
All
going to join
right.
us now. So let me get
Hold
everybody
on. I'm gonna
here
join
on
you
the
too.
screen. Songbird, are you there? Can you hear
I'm
us?
here. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are
Hi.
you? Welcome
I'm
to
good.
Patriots in Tune.
Well, thanks so much for inviting me on. It's so great to meet you. And I have to tell you, Jules, you have the most wonderful voice.
Oh,
You
Don't
know,
let it soft soap you.
oh, Toots, I'm coming after you next.
oh, thank you so much. I
No,
appreciate that.
really, you have a great voice. It's so kind of soothing and it's also interesting. And then you have such great insight and things to say. So I've been really enjoying you.
I appreciate that so much. Well, you know what? You have to counter Toots. Toots is my wild man, and so you have to have a happy medium, and there are different tones that you have to pull out in order to keep him.
The
All right,
different
hold on.
jewels. You have
All
to
right.
pull out the
Yeah,
different
hold on.
jewels.
Enough about Jules. Now, what did you want to say about me? No.
Okay, you're next.
Oh, good.
Hi, Toots.
Uh-oh.
It's great to
Dum, da,
meet
dum,
you.
dum. How you doing? It was a pleasure
I'm
to meet you
good.
too, and
Thank you.
and thank you for calling and getting all of that together with us. That was
Oh
really
man, you have no idea how many hours I put in to get you
good.
15 of my song vids
I
that
know.
can't be played
I
because,
know.
they're
What a
considered
shame.
cover tunes.
You know, and
But,
Your
that's
resume was
okay
amazing, by
though.
the way. Yeah,
oh, thanks.
we read your resume. I couldn't even believe how amazing it was, and
Uh,
I told everybody, and I'm going to tell them again that they're going to have an amazing time going through rabbit holes and just finding all your different things that you did and going on your YouTube site and seeing it. And that's going to be real amazing for people to do because that's what I like to do sometimes. When you're hanging out alone, you go, you
yeah.
do your own homework, and they're going to love it because I listen to just about all of them. They're great. I mean, they're all
Oh,
a lot
thank
of
you
great
so
stuff.
much. I really appreciate that. I sent you guys three originals that are really totally different than what I usually do because I usually take a familiar sounding song
Yeah,
and uh, and then
make it
put
your
my
own a
own
little.
words, my own lyrics to it,
Mm-hmm.
and put my own slant on it, and then put it out there, and people kind of jive to it. But these three are more, I want to say, not classical, but you will hear more classical tones to it, and
Awesome.
um, and they're very patriotic. So I hope people like it.
So
Oh,
tell
they're gonna
us a
love
little
it.
bit about yourself, Songbird for Trump. Where were you born, raised? Tell us about your family. Where are you now? Where did
Well,
all
I
this
was
come from?
born in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. You know my man Bay Ridge Bernie.
No, don't know him. Actually, my folks moved out of there when I was 6 months old, so I don't remember. But I was born in the Bay Ridge area. I got a little
Oh, there you go.
okay, and then we moved to
Okay.
Yonkers, New York, and then we
Okay.
moved up to Westchester, and I was pretty much raised in Westchester.
Oh,
Lived there
okay.
till I was 40, and now, Jules, I have to tell you something. Go talk to yourself, Toots, for about a minute. Just for about
All
a
right,
minute.
everybody, I'm out of
He
here.
does that anyway.
So, Toots, what do you think about that? How
What
you
does
gonna do this new
Toots? That
song?
was an easy one.
Oh,
What does Toots think about Toots? Okay, we've lost him
boy, that was
completely.
great. Your last song.
Okay, Toots, zip it. I gotta talk to Jules a second. Jules, do you know what I was doing an hour ago?
Probably working on these songs and
Well,
everything.
besides that, yes, I was. I was.
Yes,
But besides that, I decided to put a facial mask on my face made up out of egg white and rice powder. And I slathered it all on, and then I worked on the song vids, and then this stuff became like cement on my face.
I thought you were
And
gonna say you put it on and then you went to the supermarket.
did
You
I
put the
tell
mask
you to zip it? So then, Jules, it became like cement. I was literally scratching at my face to take these globs of things off my face,
Oh.
and and so if I'm red, that's the reason why. But a 66-year-old has got to try to represent.
You
So
look
66 years old.
absolutely beautiful.
I'm
Wow. Well,
66.
listen, I think we need that recipe. What's that mask made of that you used? Egg whites and what?
I'm gonna do a YouTube songbirds daily mask, because I have all these natural masks that you make in your own kitchen with your own stuff. None of this, 24 karat gold specks in a jar that you get to pay $300 for, or anything else.
Or
Wow.
vampire facials, which
Yeah.
scares me to death.
I have
You
no
know,
idea what that
that's
is.
that's a great idea. Like Italian mothers, like my mother, we have something called it's like the garbage sauce, or the Sunday sauce. And what the Sunday sauce is, whatever you got lying around in the refrigerator, whatever, you just dump it into the sauce, and that's just you cook it.
And
So
you
none of the
throw it
leftovers
at
go
each
bad.
other.
Yeah, none of the leftovers go bad. You're doing the Sunday mask. You take everything so you don't waste any leftovers. You make a mask out of it. I like that
My
idea.
grandmother, I'm a first generation American. My
Okay.
parents came from the Swedish speaking part of Finland. And so
Oh.
I grew up speaking Swedish. I spoke Swedish in the home until I was 5 years old, when
Wow.
I went to kindergarten. And my parents came. My dad had an eighth grade education and came here because his mom had left Finland years before. Russia was always after Finland, and so there were no jobs, and she had to come here and try to make a living. So he didn't see his mom for 9 years. He followed, and then he met my
Wow.
mom here. She came from Finland also, and they've been great patriots. They built themselves a wonderful life, and they raised us. I have always been patriotic. I
Oh, that's
popped
awesome.
out patriotic. As much as I was kind of proud to be a Scandinavian American, because we attended, maybe you did too, sweet. You probably went to the Italian festivals and the Italian club. Your parents might have
The
been
Knights of
part of it.
Columbus.
Yeah. And so we had those kinds of Scandinavian clubs that we went to. And, but it was always, I would nearly weep every time I saw the American flag, and I still do. I adore my
Wow.
American flag. I have two of them hanging around my house.
That's
That is
awesome.
so wonderful. So you've always been patriotic, and it
Mm-hmm.
looks like you're a big fan of this president. Now, were you a fan of
Love
Trump
him.
before? I mean,
I was until the day. I was until the day that my husband and I cruised our boat down the Hudson River around Manhattan with 30 people on this boat. And then the Trump princess came by and made a wake so large that it made my 40-footer look like a frigging dinghy. And the whole
Wow.
container of iced tea went up and down. And I always laughed and said, I'm going to send Donald Trump my dry cleaning bill. I never did.
Where did you keep your boat? In Westchester?
Yeah.
Wow. So you were on the Hudson. Would be on the Hudson River over there. Did you go to Connecticut? No, that would be on the other side, right?
Yeah, we actually picked the boat up in Connecticut. So then we came down through Connecticut and then down into New York Harbor, and up the first time we brought the boat home.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
well,
I
I think
grew
he
up.
got rid of his boat, so I don't think you have to worry
he
about
did.
that anymore.
No, he did.
Maybe
Now, I
you
hope
scared
his
him away. Maybe he knew that he was going to get a letter from you.
Oh, he was gonna hear from crusty Christina.
Aw. Oh, that is great. So, when did you get into music? When did this whole thing
I was
develop?
2 when my parents would force me to sing to their guests in the living room, but I had my first audience of 500 when I was 5, and that was in
Wow.
the Scandinavian American Club. And I sang for the King of Sweden when I was 11.
Wow.
And I had taken about 4 years of piano lessons by that time. And I have to tell you this. So Mrs. Monarchy came from, she escaped the Nazis in Vienna. She had been the dean of a school in Vienna, and she escaped with her dad. No one else in her family made it. They swam over rivers, they walked, they hiked, they finally found themselves to New York, and now here she was teaching my sister and I how to play piano for $5 an hour. So
Wow.
Wow.
Mrs. Monarchy taught me piano for 4 years, and this is how it went. She would sit down and play the song. And because I'm a little dyslexic, I could never get the left and the right hand right. And so I would pretend to read the music, and then I'd watch her hands. and then I'd sit down and I'd play, and I'd start to play, and then hit a clam. And she would take her pencil and she would go, waiting, waiting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I would have to start again, and I would start again and hit a clam. Waiting, waiting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Very patient she was.
Finally, she said to my mom, Christina is not doing well.
Well, there goes that. There goes that observation I made. Maybe she's not so patient.
But she can sing, and I can give her voice lessons.
Wow.
And she did. And that started 18 years of vocal training.
Wow.
My
That's good.
goodness.
You know what that is? You know what that's the way all teachers should be like that. There shouldn't be a cookie cutter system for all kids.
Right.
Everybody learns at different paces. Everybody learns different things. Everybody's more excited about certain things. And you can't force kids, like I was never good in school because I wasn't interested in anything they were really teaching. I really didn't care. But if you taught something I liked, I would be great at it. But I didn't like the stuff that I was being force fed. So I think that what you just said is a perfect example of that,
It is, yeah. Do you play instruments?
Well, I grew up, I was always a drummer.
Uh-huh.
And from there, I went and I was a songwriter. So even as a drummer, I wrote all the music for all the bands I was ever in.
Yes.
Then I decided I wanted to sing. I was writing all these songs. I wanted to be the singer. And I wasn't really a good singer. And everybody'd be like,
but you can belt them out, Toot Sweet.
Well,
I enjoy your songs, and you just really growl them out there, and
well,
I think it's great.
I'm going to tell you what happened, because I ended up, my producer, it's like my brother that I work with. I've been working with him since 1992 or 3. I can't even remember how long. We've been working together for 30 years. We're like an old married couple, me and him. And when I wanted to sing, I met up with my partner, Tony, and I told him what I want to do, and I wasn't a singer. And he was very patient with me, and he literally said, you know what, let's find a style. Let's find out where you can be, because he's a great musician. And me and him, and I've been working with him ever since. And he kind of molded me where I could be, because I was always a drummer, but I wasn't a singer. And then I figured out where to do it. And, you just keep learning. And I was fortunate enough to have somebody that took the time and was patient with me, just like your singing teacher. So that, no, you know what, she's not doing this really right with that, but let's see, let's try something else. And she worked with you, and now you became an amazing singer. So that's what it's all about.
Well, thank you. But I don't think I'm an amazing singer anymore anyway. I did have many more chops, but I'm older now. So, the system kind of breaks down a little bit. You just don't have the support.
It's all about your passions. Doesn't matter. Anyone can
so
do
I've
it.
had to kind of reevaluate
reinvent
myself. Mm-hmm. And so along came Trump. And then one of my Twitter friends said, I had given her one of my songs. I had recorded Unforgettable and, kind of love songs and things like that. And so she said, you should do a song and put it in a vid. And I thought, well, maybe I could. And so that's what started it back in 2015. Hey, Toots, how many, you toot yourself that you've got the most vids out there. How many do you have?
I gave it up at the beginning of the show. I gave up my, right, Jules?
Yes.
I gave up my Guinness Book of World Record. I conceded it. I conceded to you. And we got another guy. And my man, Michael Beatty, he's, Magoya, California. Magoya Oboya is writing songs every 5 minutes. So I conceded that I got to find another record, but yes.
Yeah, but how many?
We had 80. We have had 80.
Is it 80 or something like that?
Yeah.
80, yeah. But
and we actually did.
Wait a minute. Let me
pull
my shoulder. You know how many I got?
But that's only my patriotic songs. I got a lot more songs than that. I got over 200 something songs. But my since 2000, I think I started writing patriotic songs in 2009, was it? But but wait a minute now, hold on. I
just watched one from 8 years ago that you did.
Wait a minute now, mine are 80 originals. I know that.
I
didn't count all my covers, because I got another 50, I got another 20 covers that I did that didn't count in that.
I know. Go ahead and brag.
So 100. I'm putting down 100. All right, so go ahead. How many?
It went from 80 to 100.
To 100, because I didn't count my covered songs. I didn't count all the covers.
I have created over 270 MAGA song vids.
There we go, people. Toots got blown out of the water again. Even with the covers.
Good for you,
I know,
Songbird.
and I know that we read that. We read that when we read your resume, and I already gave it in to you. You didn't see the beginning of the show. When we read your resume, I said, "Well, I got to concede my Guinness Book of World Records."
It's so
Okay.
difficult for him to do. It was
Well,
so hard.
what's really hard for me as a singer is not to have access any longer to musicians and arrangers and that kind of thing. Two of the songs tonight are composed by my arranger, composer, musician, wonderful friend Vince Corazine, CorazineMusic.com, and he's produced a lot of things. He once produced the ABC news broadcast soundtrack and played for years and years and years. He's a very dear friend, and he's given me carte blanche to a number of his songs. He said, do whatever you want with them. I said, I want to write lyrics to them and sing and put them on YouTube. He said, go for it. And he said, if you ever make any money, then, shoot me some. I don't think I'll ever make any money, but
No.
I get to use them. And
There
that's
you go.
wonderful. But I don't have access any longer to, studios and things like that like I used to. So now I sit at my little old laptop with my
Yep.
free software and try to croak out
Yeah,
a song
everybody.
that someone might want to listen to.
Yeah, it's all about just using what you got and making
Yeah.
making do with it. That's all we can do, So I've been
Right.
doing that my whole life.
Well, I would love to play one. Can we start with the Star Spangled Banner? Is that okay? All right.
Now this is a historical an historical take on, it's not the rah-rah ball game kind of thing. It's more of a historical storytelling
It's the
way
classical
of
one.
telling it. And it's got a bit of classical in it. Yeah, I hope you guys will
Awesome.
like it.
Oh, how great. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear your stuff. Let's see
Thanks.
here. And I know you had to work hard because once you found out about the whole parody thing,
Yeah.
that just
I felt so bad.
Oh,
Jules,
then I had to
Jules,
throw
Jules
this
didn't
together.
have the heart. Jules is like, could you
I
please?
couldn't do it. I said,
Please?
I
I can't tell her. I said, oh man, you mean I gotta tell her? I'm like, oh no, I don't want to tell
Oh
her.
my goodness.
So yeah, so she stuck me in there to
I
come
don't
and
take
knock
you
on your
for a
door.
snowflake, Jules.
Oh, I was in this case. I said, I just can't do it. I said to
Actually, she was really busy too. She was working.
I
And
was working at
I was
my
in the
office
park.
as
I was in the
well.
park singing, so I shouldn't have never answered that phone call, but I did. Hello, Jules. Could you do me a favor? I'm like, oh God, hold on, Jules. I gotta go. Well, bad connection.
That's about how it went too. And it was
And I figured it was that, Jules. The minute I heard Toot Sweets on the phone, I said, Jules chickened out.
Yes, I said I just can't do it. I said it's one of those things. I said, Toots, you talk music. Let's see you do this one, because I said, well, what happened? It's actually happened to us before. We were playing on this show a Toots song. We were stuck in the middle with Trump, and as soon as we did that, in the middle of the program,
Yeah,
it just
shut
blew
it
us
right down.
out completely of
Yeah.
YouTube, and we could not get back in for
Oh,
4
no.
days.
Yeah, so
No.
they're really, so that's why we can't chance it with anything.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
you have to, and that's the way
So
it goes.
here we go. Let me get this going. Let me pull this onto our
Top Cat,
screen.
the undeniable leader of the guy. How you doing,
guy.
Top Cat? I just had to say hi.
That sounded a little bit like Sinatra.
Like
You know.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. This is the Star Spangled Banner, and this is with Songbird for Trump, and this is a grassroots production. So here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam?
That was unbelievable.
Songbird, you
That was
are
unbelievable.
fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
That really was
You
amazing.
absolutely are. That was absolutely beautiful. And
Yeah,
everyone in the chat room said, wow,
yeah,
what an
that was a wow.
incredible voice you have.
And I'm going to tell you what you did that was brilliant, because I actually got chills and it was great. The
You
your
got
timing,
chills?
I did. I'm not walking aside. The timing when you came and you brought in the president, as soon as you brought the president in, so everything was going on, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This Joyce is beautiful. Then you brought the president in and you personalized it, and it was just like, wow. That's when I started to get chills, and it was amazing. What a
Right.
great job! That was unbelievable.
You
Woo!
really
expect
are.
that.
I
I did
didn't
not expect
either.
that.
I didn't expect any of it.
You got
And
a Broadway
really,
voice. You got that Broadway.
I kind of do, don't
yes,
I?
Yeah,
you do.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
But beautiful, beautiful.
we've got to get you at a Trump rally to open with this song. Wouldn't that be
Hello.
amazing?
Hello.
Oh my
That would be
gosh.
I would
amazing.
love that. I would just,
Great
that would
job.
be like the cherry on top of the rice pudding or something.
Rice
because-
pudding. That's the cherry on top of the ice cream soda. No.
Yeah, okay, that too.
Let me ask you a question. When did you come out with this?
Today, actually, I did put it out earlier this year.
You did
I
the
think
video today.
The video I revamped today, and I remixed some of the sound today, because it just, with this free software that I have, and I put on these big old things, and these sound good, right? And then when it's all done, and I've put it up onto Twitter, thinking that it's going to sound pretty decent, then I listen to it on my phone, and I'm like,
We were just talking about that the other day. We were just talking about that. I was talking with Michael Beatty, actually. The way I used to record, probably you did too. We used to do it on 2-inch tape. This is before the cell phones. And
Yeah.
you mix, when you did the mix, everything was mixed differently, because you were
Right.
mixing for a CD, really. Basically a CD for a car stereo, for you stick the
Yes.
CD in. Now,
and it was analog too. It wasn't digital.
yeah, well, yes, it came on the 2-inch tape. Now, and now everything's different. So once that transition came, the transition was okay in the beginning when we started doing digital, but then when the iPhones came out, that's when it really changed, because now the mixes that we were used to making didn't transform. They didn't transpose. It was a completely different. Nothing was sounding the same on them, and we didn't know. We're like, wow, that's horrible. So then you had to figure that out, and it was a tough period to go through. It was like relearning how to mix.
Well, I have most of the recordings that I did, because I'm so old I fart dust now.
Your 8-track. You went back to the 8-tracks.
I went, I have reel-to-reel stuff, and I've got stuff on some cassettes.
Yeah.
And one of the projects that I recorded with a live orchestra never made it to CD. I just had it on cassettes, because I was marketing it to some elderly people who didn't know from CDs then. They only knew cassettes. So I said, let me just print, a couple of thousand cassettes. And so now I can't use those original songs, which are mine. I wrote them. I wrote the lyrics and the music, and then had an arranger just come in and put his thing on it. And so that sounded weird.
It wasn't Joe Biden, was it? Joe Biden's not your arranger, is he?
Hold on, let me sniff you.
Joe Biden came down and put his little thing on there. Okay. Unbelievable.
I'm glad that I marked this show as not good for children. Yeah. That would have been a strike.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
So now I can't use those. I've got to find someone old enough who still has some kind of old equipment that can translate that to an MP4 for me. MP3 for me.
MP3, yeah.
So that I can try to manipulate them and use them a little bit. Otherwise, they're just
You know what you should do when you go into Best Buy or something like that? Talk to some of the people there, or go into a music store, guitar store. Go into, if you got any guitar stores in Westchester that, just go in there and talk.
I'm not in Westchester. I'm in Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida. Okay. Well, when you're in Florida, go to a music store or whatever's down there, and talk to some of the people that work there. A lot of them will probably know how to do that for you.
Yeah.
Or if they don't know, they'll be able to tell you where to go to get it done.
Got to get it done.
So I want to make sure that everyone is following you on Twitter. So we're with SongBird4Trump today, and her handle is at SongBird4Trump. And that's one of the ways to get in touch with you. And then also they can find you on YouTube. And I've been dropping your link in there as well, and that's USA for DJT SongBird4Trump. And I'm going to drop this in again so that everybody has this link, because some of this music, you guys, they are so much fun. Some of these parodies that you have done, they're fantastic. And I know that you worked extremely hard the first time trying to get all these tracks to me. And then when we found out we couldn't do the parodies because we were blown off the air, then you've worked a second time to get these three to me. And so you guys have got to check out her music because it's fantastic.
And the videos are great too.
Oh, the videos really.
Yeah, you did a really good job. Really great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. I think mine was Wild Thing, but I can't remember now. Did you do Wild Thing?
Wild Thing is so fun.
Yeah, Wild Thing. I like that.
I have a bunch of favorites now. MAGA Man, you're a MAGA Man.
Okay,
that's what you are.
Yeah.
Our front man, our superstar. Early morning, late afternoon, and midnight, you still sing this tune. You're a MAGA man, you turn us on. It goes on. It's kind of fun.
That's the 70s funk. The 70s
funk. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Bringing out I love all that music. That's my favorites. All that 70s music.
I do. It's kind of fun. So I try to give a flavoring for everyone. I've got some country western in there. I've got funk. I've got jazz. I love jazz. Classically trained, but I love jazz, and I've got some rock tunes, an operatic singer doing rock, but sometimes that's all my voice will croak out anymore. So
yeah, but it's all good. It brings a totally new sound for it. Listen, if you want to hear the rock version, just listen to the original. You're bringing a new sound to what you're doing.
I'll listen to you.
Listen to me.
I even took on Aretha Franklin's. I took on Aretha Franklin's Freedom. And that was like, what am I thinking? But I really get a kick out of it. I mean, these fun song vids, they make me laugh. And so with everything so serious that we're going through in this country, and with every thought of Trump is, how does he do it? How does he keep doing it?
How does he do it? I know, it's amazing.
My hero. And he has taught me so much about growing a thicker skin, not with so much the egg and the,
That's funny.
But he's taught me to have a thicker skin and to not take things so personally.
Exactly.
Because, Twitter is a mad and nasty world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It is just no place for a good Christian girl like me.
And you know what, though? You're always so positive. I've seen you respond to tweets and things. You're very active on Twitter, and you're so positive. And I love your avatar. I love what you bring to a lot of the conversation. And when you'll drop your music and everything. Now, tell us about the bird. Tell us how did you come up with SongBird4Trump? How did that come about?
When my husband and I were in New York, and I lived there till I was 40, so we were there a long time, we were very active in the King's College. Okay. And the president of King's College, I would sing there on Saturday nights prior to the big act coming out, or prior to the choir or the speaker or whatever. They'd invite me to sing. And so he would call me Songbird. He's the one who named me Songbird, and I hold it as a very honorable badge to be called Songbird. Hey, did you see my necklace?
Look at that.
I see it now. Let's see. Come a little closer with it.
Songbird
lift it up.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you have to turn it around though, because we have the opposite view.
You do?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So everything is reversed.
Here.
Here's SongBird4Trump. I love that.
It is all sparkly, and it's got red, white, and blue.
Did you make it? Did you make it?
No, but I paid $85 for it. Look, Songbird, because I figured I'm going to get to sing at a Trump rally someday, and I'm going to wear it. And it wouldn't show if I put it here, so that's why I put it on this silly chain which keeps doing this. It wasn't supposed to be this, hokey. It was supposed to be very kind of cool. But I'm
Oh,
not all that cool. So
that is
That's great.
fantastic. I love your necklace. And I have no doubt. I mean, that's what we're trying to do here, Songbird. We are trying to get the attention of the president. There is so much talent out there, just
I'm
in
telling
Twitter alone, and so many MAGA musicians. And we're trying to get it to where, I mean, nothing upsets us more than when an artist comes out and tells Donald Trump, you can't use my music, or comes,
Oh,
it just makes us all crazy.
oh, it makes me
Yes.
sick. I'm just fighting with this thing now. I should just take this sucker off. Maybe I'll wear it as a headband.
A crown, a
You
tiara.
You can actually see it.
There it is. Songbird for Trump. Look at that, Toots.
I'm so
Nice.
excited you could actually see it. Okay.
Perfect.
And there you
Yeah.
go, people. Songbird for Trump.
But listen, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Jules. We have been in the trenches with President Trump since before he was president. When he announced he was coming, he was running.
Yeah.
We were, of course, had the TV on like everyone else, and he was coming down the escalator, and I leapt out of my recliner and screamed yes at the TV and jumped on the Trump train. And that started 16-hour days.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare a meal for hubby. I didn't change the sheets. I didn't do the laundry. I didn't clean the toilets. I did zilch, zip, nada, except for tweet, 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 16 hours a day. And then I think it was like
He got us
August
all
that my
in there.
friend said to do a song bit, and then I started with that, plus the tweeting. To this day, I have this muscle spasm going down, all the way down my arms.
From Trump. Man,
From
Trump's killing you. He's got iced tea. He got iced tea all over your dress. He's gave you muscle spasms.
The least he can do is let me sing for his in-home.
Exactly. He owes you at least that.
Is that so much to ask? I mean, really. Oh my gosh.
All these starlets that are sold out to Satan so they can get wherever they want to get in life, they haven't been in the trenches like we have. And there are so many of us. I'm just one of many. I mean, Toots, you also have put out so much and done so much for the MAGA movement that we should get heard. I mean, he should have a whole thing
We're
of
working on
just
something with that.
MAGA people.
We're gonna start working on it. Actually, I was telling people, explaining, announced it earlier. We're gonna have every Friday in August. We're gonna start doing music night. So we'll have different guests on. We'll have 2 guests each night. So we'll start doing that. And then what I also want to do is I'm trying to talk to a few people that I know. I want to see how we can do this to get the culture aspect of our movement, which the Republicans have no clue about what's going on. They don't get it. They are so lost when it comes to pop culture. They just don't get it.
Right.
Trump could do it if Trump actually decided to start using other people's music, like our music, people that actually support him. He could literally start this movement right off the bat. People would start to know who we were, and then it would be so many new voices helping him recruiting more people. So I don't understand why they're not doing it yet. Doesn't make sense to me. They don't get this angle of the movement. We should all be stars, just like the Democrats got their stars. We have no stars. There's no celebrities. There's nobody in the music thing on our side. So Hillary Clinton's got Jay-Z, Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi. We got nothing. We got a couple people, but nothing really like that. We should have all of us there. We go in there, and now we inspire a whole new generation of people to come on board with what we're doing. Doesn't make sense how the only person who got it was Andrew Breitbart. And I literally had a conversation with him a week before he died. I was with him. I knew Andrew. I was with him a week before he died. And I was talking to him about this. It was the craziest thing because I've been talking about this since day one. I met Glenn Beck. I told him about it.
Yeah.
Breitbart was the only one who was like, that's completely what we need to do. And he was the only one who got it. Right. And a week later, he died. They killed him, I still think. Gosh. But anyway, that's how. And after he died, nobody else picked up the baton, and nobody else got it. They're really, it's disheartening. But you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen somehow.
I think that's great. I think some of us need to be stars. I'll never be a star.
Yes, you will.
But I could sing at an event, and that could be like the highlight of my
it doesn't matter.
You know,
you don't have to be a star.
Be
Listen.
in my show.
I will tell
Listen.
you, Songbird, I don't think it matters the age at
Yeah.
all. You've got great poise. I love everything that you've done. I was sitting there watching a lot of your videos, and I was like, my goodness, people really need to go and dig through your things because it's so uplifting. You've got a great voice. You've got a great attitude. I don't think age has anything to do with it, and
Yeah.
we would love it if you were to be part of some of the shows that we're planning on
Oh,
doing.
I would
because
love to.
yeah.
Just ask
Yeah.
me, darling.
and
I'll
when
be
I
there.
and when I'm saying about stars, I'm not just talking about the musicians. I'm talking about the people who make memes. Everyone.
Yeah.
We all, and when we're together now, there's a whole new movement, and everybody knows everyone, and we are the new movement now. We're the
Yes.
people that are doing all this stuff. Jimmy Kimmel, or they got all of these. They're not all musicians. They got a bunch of dopey idiot stars. All the people that are doing their talk shows. These are the new stars. Everybody that's doing stuff. We need to be and start to speak for ourselves. But the damn Republicans are so lame. They don't get anything. They just every night you got to tune in and listen to the same stupid argument, the same
Right.
dumb idiots. You know, and it's just it's just insane. And unfortunately, that's all we got. Just like our politicians suck, so does our, whatever else. Oh yeah, they tell the truth and all, but there's nothing entertaining. You ain't gonna, I love Sean Hannity, but Sean Hannity is not bringing up, and no young kids are gonna be like, oh, look at Sean Hannity. I like that. They don't.
Right.
It's not
Right.
fun. We need fun, and we don't have that, and that's what we're missing.
And
there are so
we
many.
gotta get
I
it.
mean, you look at the twins, the Hodge twins, crack
I
me
love
up.
them. They're amazing.
And they are so gorgeous. I like
Amazing.
drool when I look at them. They're
Brilliant,
like, oh my
amazing.
gosh, they're
They're
so
always
gorgeous.
laughing. They're always
They're
laughing.
so funny. They're
Yeah.
great. And then you have
Oh,
Terrence and of
I
course
love
Diamond
them.
and Silk. Diamond and
All
Silk
of
just
them.
started with their two big mouths,
yeah.
and look where they are now.
There's so
And
many of us.
we
It's
love
that
them,
we
and
gotta
we,
get them
just
more.
love them.
Yes, we have to have this where we're all together and we're dealing with us, and we could tell the left to suck
Yeah.
on an egg. We don't need them no more. I'm
That's
so
right.
done. I don't know why we're dealing with them in any aspect of anything. I'm
Yep.
sick of compromise. You don't compromise
Yes.
with a Democrat anymore. They're not even American. That's like compromising
I
with China.
agree.
Why are we
Yeah,
compromising
they're
with
not
Democrats?
even American.
They're not American.
I don't
So
know
we
what
got to
they are.
cut them the hell out of our life.
Yeah.
And then we have to do it. We have to start to do it, and hopefully we can really make this thing grow and keep on going. But before that, we got to play another one of these songs.
We do
Okay.
indeed.
Are you going to play Watch, Jules?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
That's
this is going to be a little commercial break for Jesus Christ.
wonderful. Okay.
I hope you're okay with that.
Oh yes, ma'am.
we're
on
okay
this
with
show.
it.
99% of my vids are political vids, and I sometimes stick a little about the Lord in there. But
Listen.
my husband's a lawyer, but he's also an ordained minister, and we once served in a church for 4 years. And of course, was a gospel.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Sorry about
That's
that.
all right.
You sang in the church?
I was a gospel
Oh,
singer
that's
for
awesome.
25 years. I
Wow.
traveled the world singing
Wow.
gospel.
I think I saw that in your resume. I was trying
We
to get it.
did.
Was just,
Yeah,
it was
I
too
read
much.
it in
It was
the
too much for
biography.
me. I was like, oh no, this girl's too much. She's got too many things going.
Well, maybe they're all lies, Toot Sweets. Maybe none of it's true.
It's all
Tell
true.
me lies. Tell me sweet little
Little lies.
We know it's all true. So let me get this going here. It may start playing, but I'll just rewind it. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Okay.
Sometimes there are problems on my end. One sec. Here we go. All right, looks to be okay for me right now. Anyway, so here we go, you guys. Watch. And this is Songbird for Trump.
Watch and do not be deceived. Many will say, I am here. Fighting nations, falling kingdoms. Broken babies cry freedom. Hatred, greed, and the waste tricks. Chosen ones choose counterfeits. The sun will
Oh my goodness. You have got
Wow.
such an incredible voice. I am
That's
not
amazing.
kidding.
Now
Yeah.
that seemed really loud to me, but maybe it's just my headset. Did the sound off to you,
It was
Toots?
good. It was good. No, it sounded good. It
It
was good. Your
sounded
voice is
good.
great.
That
You
was
were
one of my originals.
that's like a James Bond.
That's what I was going to say,
Yeah,
Toots.
That's really good. Yeah, that was great. Great stuff.
thank you.
What
I
a
wrote
voice.
that. I wrote the music and the lyrics for that one, and
Yeah.
that was one of them that was on cassette. So I kind of hooked it into my computer, but you could tell it was a little bit kind of wonky in there a
It
little
was.
bit. But I
It
tried to
sound.
use
Listen.
it.
It sounded. It sounded fine. The quality was great. Your voice sounded great in there,
Oh,
and the way
great!
you got so many things going on. It's like a little jazzy, but really beautiful. Great
Thank you.
arrangement. Yeah, you did a great
Thanks.
job with that
Appreciate
song.
that so much. Thank you.
Awesome job. The pit crew loving it. That was great.
It was
You
so
never
like a
know.
James
I don't see
Bond.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
see the
definitely.
pit crew. How am I going to see the pit crew?
Don't worry,
Oh,
I'll tell you. We got a couple of people that don't like you. No, no, they all love you. Everyone in the pit crew loves you.
this is in the
They-
YouTube chat, and you know what? It's
yeah,
and what would happen is if you were watching the pit crew, you would have to have them on mute, but you could watch the chat. They are absolutely having a fit over you. They
yeah,
think
they're
that
loving you.
you are
Thank
just
you, guys.
wonderful.
Yes.
I mean, you
Well,
should see the comments. Everybody's saying here like TC1776. Since you can't see it, I'm going to let you know what they're saying. She says, yes, James Bond. Mary Smotney is saying, awesome. We've got Amanda saying, beautiful. We have Blonde Patty
oh,
saying, she has such a voice. Really amazing. Studio 59 Design says, wow. BD Simpson says, great pipes. I mean, it goes on and on.
thank
Angel
you. Thank you,
Patriot,
guys.
beautiful. I mean,
Thanks
it
so
goes
much.
on
yeah,
and
great
on and
job.
on.
Now,
Wow.
you guys, if
So,
you're on Twitter, I don't recognize your name, so maybe you have a different name in the chat than you do on Twitter. But let's follow each other if you're on Twitter. Just
Of
give me a
course.
shout out, DM
definitely.
me or something.
You know, and they are we were just talking about the different talents that everyone brings to Twitter and to the presidency and to the MAGA
Yeah.
movement, really, in general. And it's really amazing because I'll tell you, when the Mighty 200 were first targeted by Hillary Clinton, I had no idea what rooms or groups were. I was independent.
Mm,
I was tweeting on my own because I live in Hollywood. And so I didn't really have anybody that I could talk to about, my political beliefs, etc. Well,
wow.
I'll tell you, when I ran into this group or was put into this group by Hillary, I found out that there were so many different people with so many different superpowers. Like some of them were like these meme. I mean, they did nothing but make these memes, and they were battling in Twitter every single day. Some of them were artists, like you two, musical artists. You guys were singing. You were using your voice. Some of them were just they would put together the most incredible tweets ever. They would nail it every single
Yes.
time. Some of them were like citizen journalists, where they were going around their town or their cities, and they were debunking the fake news. They would take pictures of their areas, the homelessness in California as it was
Mm,
starting to spin out of control. They were doing documentaries. Some of them were
yeah.
digging into some of these different questions that we had, whether it be Q or anything else about the
Hmm.
federal government, the fake news, debunking those stories. You had a talent. You had people that were poets, writers,
Yeah.
whatever, and they used whatever they were good at to bring to the table to get this
Right.
president elected, and we
Right.
did it. I
Yes.
mean,
Isn't that amazing?
you have to realize the miracle that we were able to bring in 2016, and I feel like we're really
Yes,
going to
I
bring it
do.
again in 2020. I
We're
don't
going
think
to
there's
work
any
that hard.
question.
Let me ask you, what did you feel like that night when we stayed up late and it was super late on the 8th of November 2016? What did you feel like when they called the race for Donald Trump?
I could not. I was so exhausted by that point. I was so excited, and I was with a group of people at the Roosevelt Hotel. They were all
Yeah.
liberals, and I was right here on Hollywood Boulevard because I had a lot of friends that came into town. And the whole night, I had to fake it because I was sitting there dancing inside. I was just smiling to myself, but no one else was. And I was like, okay, I'm about about to out myself right now if I start smiling and jumping around. So I literally a couple of times I had to leave the table and go into the ladies' room and just go, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna do this! Like we
Yes.
are going to do this. We really
Right.
are. We're gonna win." And I just remember, going back there because we had protests in Hollywood that day. People were talking all kinds of trash about Trump. My parents, okay, for example, my parents seriously thought that there was something, that there was something wrong with my information. They were extremely upset and worried that I wasn't going to be able to handle the loss of Donald Trump because they were of the old school. They believed these polls. And they were like, we hate to say it, but you got to realize you have to hit reality at some point. He's going to lose, and not only is he going to lose, but he's going to lose by a lot. And we just want you to be prepared for that. Well, I'm sitting there arguing, saying, no, he's going to win. I know he's going to win. And they thought, that I was going to have a hard time accepting it. And
Right.
sure enough, I was right. And at the end of the day, they were like, how did you know this?
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
Well, I worked so hard personally. I took the attitude that if it is going to be, it is 100% up to me to get it done.
Right.
If Trump wins, I have to give it my absolute all. And I did 16 hours a day for the first 3 years. And then my body started falling apart and I had to kind of lay off a little bit, but I'm still putting in 10 to 12 hours every day. And closer to November, it'll be up to 16 again. It has to be. But I took the attitude that if he was going to win, it was 100% on my shoulders. So when they called the race and all those media pundits, I just ate it up like custard.
Oh,
It was just so fun to see their faces and their shoulders shrink, and I sat down in the chair and I said, we did it. I did it.
Yeah.
There were millions of me's out there like you, millions of yous out there, but I felt like I did it.
That's how I think we all felt. Yeah.
What was going on in my mind, I was thinking to myself, all right, where am I gonna go eat? What do I want to eat? Because I bet so many people I was eating free for the next month and a half, and a couple of my friends still owe me dinners. I don't know if you're listening, but if you are out there, I know who you are. And when I see your ass, you're gonna buy me my steak dinner. Don't think you're getting away with it, but
I've given you almost 4 years now. It's time for my steak dinner.
Enough with this. I leave out there. So I bet so many people out, and it was a lot of fun. And I thought that the people, after all the trash talking, I mean, every day we would trash talk from 2015 to the election. Trash talking with all of these people on my block over here. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we're talking, da-da-da. Finally, he wins. I come down, I see everybody. I thought they were all going to be like, wow, you were right. I can't believe you were right. They're like, oh, that's a Russian. They're all crying. I can't talk to you. And they're walking in there, man. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with you people? What are you, a bunch of lunatics? I didn't realize they were a bunch of lunatics. The left, they showed their colors. This is who they've created. The Democrats created a bunch of psychopathic lunatics. These people are sick. They're disgusting. The way they acted after they lost. Who the hell likes sore losers like that? Right. That's what and the Democrats, they feed it on it, man. They not only did they create them, then when they knew they were all crying, they're like, no, don't worry. Trump didn't win. It was the Russians. It was the Russians? The Russians? It was the Russians that cried. It was the Russians. Yeah, Trump didn't win. It was the Russians. Now they're making like we didn't win. They're taking away our vote. This is how disgusting. They're so sick. I'm so sick of them. They make me sick in every aspect. We got to get them the hell out of our lives, man. They are not part of what we are. They are complete. I'm not talking about it's really the echelons, the way they do it. I got a lot of Democratic friends, and they're all cool. Yeah. But some of them you got to get rid of. Some of them are just so out there. But the
one of
Democrat
my best friends,
Party,
I had to let go.
Yeah.
She was so angry and she was so ugly that I had to just,
it's too much.
But
it's the Democrat
like
Party.
Throw it out.
The Democrat Party is who they to me are the enemy of basically humanity. They are the greatest threat to humanity. Is the Democrat Party. We should stop dealing with them, get them the hell out of our lives. All of the Hollywood is to wait until I can't wait for all this stuff to come out so we can
Oh,
finally,
me too.
and
Me
that's
too.
going to open up a lot of stuff for all of us too. That's going to open up a lot of stuff as soon as we get rid of Hollywood, because they're just a bunch of pedophilia scuzzballs, and all of these people, we get them out, it's going to open up a whole new thing. This is a whole new awakening. I'm really excited
Well,
about what's
Toots,
happening.
why don't some of these young people ask themselves, why is it only the liberals and those that have the far liberal viewpoint who get jobs in Hollywood or jobs in music? It's because they're willing to spit
Yeah,
out whatever they're told to spit out.
yeah.
You don't see many conservative actors. There's a few out there, but you wonder how they even get jobs anymore because it's become so ugly.
You just have to look into history. If you look into history, the same exact thing happened in Nazi Germany. You couldn't be in Hollywood. They had their own entertainment. You couldn't work unless you were part of the Nazi party. You
Right.
can't work in Hollywood unless you're part of the liberal party. It's the same
Right.
thing. The Democrat party. It's literally a reincarnation. It's the same
Yeah.
exact thing. I mean, I could go through.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
this a lot sometimes, but I
Yeah.
can make the correlations, and I would love to have that debate one day with somebody, because they're always
Oh,
calling
yeah.
Trump a Nazi and everybody on the right Nazis. I want to have that debate because I'm so sick of them labeling everybody incorrectly. Let's start doing it the right way so people
Doesn't
know
it
the
just
truth.
make you say, how can they not see that our taxes
Not
are
see. Yeah,
lower?
you just said it. How could they not see? Nazi. They're Nazis.
Nazi. That's right. You're right. I never
Hey,
thought
right
of
there.
it.
All
There
right.
we go. Oh, that
That's
just
it,
made his
people.
night.
We just said it, okay? How could you not see? You Nazi. How
I
could
hear
you
a
not see?
song.
How
No,
could
I
you
hear
not
a
see?
song.
Oh, here we go.
That's
How
awesome.
can you not see because you're a nuts?
Because you're a Nazi. You don't see because you're a Nazi. You know what we're going to do?
Yay.
We're going to play one more song of yours right now. We have
Yep.
three, right? We got one more?
Right, we
Let's
got
play
one
that.
more.
Yeah. And
This is
everybody's loving you. Everybody's loving you. This is,
oh, thank
we're
you.
sitting here with SongBird for Trump, and she is just not only is she an amazing singer, but meeting you in person is even better. It really brings
Oh,
everything you do to life.
thanks.
That's
And
what
you're
I
going to
love.
have to join
I
our
love meeting you
music
too.
group. You're going to have to join the music group of the Mighty 200, so that Toots just got in there, but we've got all kinds of musicians just like yourself that are
Great.
constantly working on music, and they're getting to know each other, and that's where we're actually, it's our pool that we're pulling from for these shows. So we're going to get you in there with the Admiral and make sure that
Great.
you're all set up with everyone. You're going to love this group. They're
I love
so
to be
much
a
fun.
groupie. I'll be your groupie.
Yay!
I'll
So
be Toots' groupie.
Woo!
I can carry a mic stand and I can play a little tambourine.
oh,
That's-
there you
you
go.
Yeah, we're gonna need a roadie too. So I got a groupie now. I need a roadie and a fan. I need one fan with
I'll
three
I'll
speeds.
be your,
I need a
your
fan
mic
with three
carrier
speeds on
and
it.
your fan. I'll be your one fan.
Oh. So this next song, this is Freedom's Crossroad. Tell us about this one.
This one I had put out on YouTube 3 years ago, but it was a long song, and then when I started doing these 2-minute, 20-second vids for Twitter, you just click on the box, to send, and you don't have to go out of Twitter in order to see it, but it has to be 2 minutes and 20 seconds long.
Right.
So this thing didn't lend itself to being a shorter song, so it's a little bit, it's like a regular.
Yeah,
long
that's
play song.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just learned about it. Michael Beatty actually. I keep bringing him up. I love this guy. He's great. You're gonna meet him when you go into the music room. He's got a great voice too, and you'll meet all of these guys. A whole bunch of
Yes, I've
bunch of
listened to
beautiful
Michael.
people.
I've enjoyed Michael.
Yeah,
very
he's great,
much.
and he's figured that out too. He does everything he does is 2 minutes and 20 seconds for
Yes.
specifically for Twitter. I'm
Right.
still writing 9 minutes and 11 seconds.
Because you're out
I'm
in the
not-
streets jiving with
I'm not-
people.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
mean, if-
Twitter. I'm not Twitter friendly, people. But yeah,
No, you're
but that's
doing great. You do a great job, Toots, and I really
Oh, thank you.
appreciate all your work, and someone like you, a New Yorker out there on the streets and talking to the people.
Ew.
And,
He gets away with a
think-
lot because of that. He really does. I swear he does. He gets
Oh,
away with
no.
so much. It's
You know,
amazing to me.
my husband and I have lived in New York and Minnesota and Seattle and Florida, and in those places, they would say to me, you don't sound like a New Yorker. So I say, so you want I should talk like this? I'll talk like this. All right, all right.
Where in Florida are you?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, you won't tell us. Okay. I lived in Sarasota, just so you know, and I
Oh,
love
it's beautiful
Florida.
there. Yeah, it's beautiful
Absolutely.
there.
I love Florida, and I swear it's Trump country. And if
It
I
is.
ever get out of Hollywood, I think between Texas and Florida, those are the two places that I would
Oh,
look
my
because
parents lived in Texas for 30 years, and so did my brother. My brother, about 5 years ago or so, moved, maybe a little longer than that, moved to Florida. He goes back to see in laws, and he said, Austin has changed so much. It has become so ultra liberal,
Yeah.
so congested. So everyone's wearing masks. You cannot go into anywhere in Austin without putting that friggin' mask on.
oh, it's like
You
here.
can't go into a store, into
That's
a
here.
restaurant.
Yeah.
You can't walk down the street without the mask on. It's a law.
Well, we don't even have restaurants open anymore. We can't sing in church anymore. We are like, there's no one on our streets anymore. It is ridiculous. I cannot even believe it. People are moving out of the state in by the numbers because,
Yeah.
and
Oh, it's
especially
horrible.
with this governor. And I swear, when I say it, I really feel like we are going to turn California red because
I
the
hope
people are
so.
starting to see it. And you don't take beachgoers and tell them that they can't go to the beach and that they can't go and exercise. I mean,
No, I
Californians are
know.
known for being, a
I
very
got to tell you
healthy
one thing. I
state.
got to tell you one thing, Jules. The
Hmm.
rest of the country's kind of liking what your governor's doing to you people over there because we're sick of you Californians enjoying yourselves so much.
We are. And we don't want
300.
you moving to Texas, and we don't want you moving to Florida. That's that.
I've
Don't
heard
let them
that
go to the
too.
beach. Don't let them go to the beach, Governor Newsom.
It was really funny. Actually, there's a really quick story here. But my very best friend in the world is, of course, in Florida, and I went to IMG Academy. That's where I trained and played tennis, etc. And so,
Hmm.
so she was there, and it was really funny because I've been living in California for a while. And this is who I grew up with. This is my very best friend in the whole wide world. Her parents were my parents. Same thing with my parents, her parents,
Oh,
and just childhood friend from the beginning. And it was funny because I was going to her house for Thanksgiving, not this Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving before. And her dad said, "Now, I really hope that she's not a liberal because if she is, let's do everything we can to not talk politics because he was so worried. He thought that because I was in Hollywood that I had
that you would
turned
be
liberal,
liberal.
and he was like, I don't think I can sit through it. I mean, as much as I love her as my own child, I don't know if we could make it through a dinner together. So when she told him, no, 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 she's totally conservative and
Yeah,
she hasn't changed a bit, it was
yeah,
okay, but he was scared that I had adopted this kind of these politics, and it's just so
yeah.
insane, and he's
It
not that
is.
way, and neither are any of my friends, but my friends here are.
Yeah,
No
right.
one knows
How
I'm a
can you not
conservative.
have, right?
Right, no one knows
Interesting.
because I'm in the center of it.
Wow.
I'm like in the belly of the beast, so to
Wow.
speak.
Yeah,
So
right. You are. Isn't that something?
yeah,
Well,
it's
God
everywhere.
bless you. That can't be easy for you.
It's not. It's
No.
not. But you know what? I have the mighties and I have Toots and I have, my friends where I can have a conversation. We can talk about
Yeah.
politics. I've got the show. My gosh, if they even knew about the show, it would be hilarious. They would die.
I was going to ask you if they knew, if they had any inkling at all.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Wow.
No.
Well, wouldn't that be
I
something if they
disappear
were
for long hours at a
scrolling
time.
YouTube?
And they're like, why didn't you answer your phone? Oh, well, unfortunately, my voice is pretty identifiable, though. And
It is.
I worry about that. I do. Because a lot of people have said, oh my gosh, you sound just like you do on the show. And I'm like, uh oh, that can't be good.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Not
Well,
But
me. My voice
I've
is
got a
like this.
lovely. Go
My
ahead.
voice is like this when I'm off the show. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
And I'm like, if you're a Democrat, get out of my way. I'm not talking to you.
Aw. Okay,
Unbelievable.
so we are going to play Three Freedoms Crossroad.
So stick around. We're going to play this song. We're
Now,
going to come
freedom's
back.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
we're coming back.
Yeah.
Freedom's Crossroad is quite different, and I don't know how many are going to actually how it'll resonate with people. It's got parts to it, and then it ends like rah rah. So
Let's
I hope
Every
hope you
time you said that you didn't know how it was gonna resonate with people, you blew us all away. And I'm just
Amazing.
guessing that this one's gonna do the same,
Amazing.
because so
Well, I
far you
hope-
blew me away with the two songs I've
Thank
heard.
you.
So yeah, so stick around, everybody. We're gonna play this song, and then we'll come back and say our goodbyes.
Here we go. Let me grab this one. Alrighty, here we go, you guys.
For freedom, they fought off tyranny. We must do the same if we want to be free. The time is now to pledge our vow. A new day dawns to right our wrongs, and as we rise, the eagle flies. Hearts beat like roaring thunder. Liberty's dream is still alive. The future's in our hands. Freedom at our command. Standing at the crossroads, which journey do we choose? One with much to gain, or all to lose? We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fantastic.
Great job.
There it
I'm just gonna say one thing for you. When you're doing your videos,
Yeah.
you got to watch out. You have the like you had Infowars on one of them. I saw another logo on another one.
I know.
That's yeah. You got to when you do. I know you probably put this together. So when you do that, you got to make sure you blow it up so that doesn't show.
Yep.
'Cause that's if you're gonna get into trouble. That's one way that they're gonna get you.
I
Just
do
so you
that.
know that.
You know, I do try to eliminate, but I was so under the gun.
Yeah, no, I know. I know you.
You
I
did
could
a
tell that you
great
did
job.
because
And
I know you didn't get a chance to really look through it and do the whole thing. You just got it
No.
done. But so
Oh,
you'll
gosh.
fix that anyway because that's something you got. But it was great. The thing was amazing. I mean, it's just an amazing song. Jules,
It's
What did
amazing.
she do? What did
I,
she do there? She changed. She went from one song and then clicked into another. That's what I like to do.
That's
I do
what
that a
Toots
lot.
does. I was
That's one of
thinking
my
about it
things.
the whole time. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what he does. He takes you on a journey." And that's
Yeah,
exactly what you did.
That was a
It
beautiful
was
I
journey.
try to do that.
fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. I do my research, and so I'm not like a dumb bird or anything.
No,
No.
you're a Tweety bird. You're a
Um,
songbird.
I'm a songbird, but I'm not a bird. I don't know what that means. I'm being silly now. I'm being totally
It's
silly.
getting late. Don't worry. This is when I start to get silly
It
too.
is.
This is when
But
the
you know what?
margaritas start kicking in.
I had no idea what to expect when I came on the show. So I was going to talk about several of the groups that I am involved in making memes for. I've created in the last 5 years probably over 1,000 memes for various groups. And so we won't talk about it now, but I would like to ask those in chat, if you're not following these people, can I give a shout out to these people?
Sure.
Uh, at Real Mary Fanning is an investigative reporter of the highest caliber, and she is an amazing woman, an amazing patriot. She is a workhorse, and she has uncovered, she's the one who broke the story on the illegal surveillance, which now Breitbart is carrying, and Zero Hedge is carrying, and everybody's, taking her work. But she has done the work, she and her writing partner Alan Jones. And so that's at Real Mary Fanning, and she is
Awesome.
kind of new to Twitter. She doesn't have that many followers, and she's greatly shadow banned because her
Yeah.
work is getting to the right people who need to know. But the people at large, like the rest of us, are not seeing her because she's shadow banned. So please follow her and retweet her stuff
And
with the
please,
comment, because
and
that'll help
please,
it get further.
and please follow this young lady right here with the mask off.
That's
She took her mask off just for us tonight.
that
This
is
is
You got to
this is
follow
the
this lady.
first time anyone's seen my face.
Wow.
I
All
was
right.
scared.
Oh,
I
you
was like,
shouldn't
It was such a
I was like,
be.
pleasure.
oh
It
my
was such
gosh.
a pleasure to meet you. You're just
Thank
as
you.
sweet. Your music
You're
is part of you. It's just as
Yeah.
sweet and as beautiful your music sounds. That's who you are, and
It's
it comes
really
through.
true.
Thank
I
you
mean, you
It really
look
too.
does.
like your
Comes
music. You're
across. It
so
comes
pretty.
across. Yeah, it
Thank
comes across
you.
in your music, and it's such a pleasure to meet you. And we're looking forward to doing this again. We're going to be getting this music together, and of course, we're going to start doing it. We got a bunch of people, and we're going to do it every week. So we're going to definitely get you back on, and
That's
hopefully
great.
by then you'll have a couple more songs or whatever you're going to do,
I
or you can
hope so.
do it. It does whatever you do. It doesn't really matter because we'll
Okay.
we'll we'll make it work. But if you do, that's great too.
Maybe we'll talk about some of my memes next time, because these groups are amazing and I'd like to kind of showcase them a little bit. And maybe you'd even want to have some of them on as as a guest.
Yeah.
Um, that might be
Yeah.
very interesting. So
Yeah, that
we'll
we'll
talk about
definitely
it.
talk about that. So everybody, what a great time tonight! What a
I had
great
fun.
time!
It
Did
It
you
was
have
so
fun?
was
much
fun.
fun. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Oh my
Thank you for
gosh.
coming on.
And you really do. You're going to add so much because you have a completely different style of music, and we showcase them
Mhm.
on this show. Like we had Damaris at the beginning of the show, and then we've had your music. It's completely different than Toot Sweet's music and
Yes.
Nate
You got
Smooth's
Nate Smooth,
music. I mean,
Soul
all of them.
Anderson. There's
They're
just so many of them to mention.
they're
That
all
you're gonna love.
characters
Yeah,
in a play, and it's
yeah.
just great. I feel like we're
That's
just
great.
living this whole thing together. So thank you
That's
so
so
much
fun.
for joining us, and
All
we
right.
look forward to
Thank you.
having you again.
Thank you for having me. God bless both of you and
Awesome.
all of your efforts. And it was
And you
just a
too.
pleasure. I had so much fun.
Oh, I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad we did too. And
Thank
stay safe, and everybody. So don't forget, you got to follow Songbird for Trump. And tomorrow we are on early, Jules. Right? Tomorrow's the
We
12 o'clock
have the
show.
Mighties. Yes,
And
we
we got the
do.
Mighty 200s on tomorrow. So we're going to get to know the Mighty 200s up close and personal tomorrow, which is always a lot of fun. So we'll see everybody tomorrow, 12 o'clock. And thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are great. We love you. And Blonde Patty, I didn't get to say hello to Blonde Patty. How you doing, Blonde Patty? One way or another. How you doing? And
I'm
I like to
gonna
say,
get you. I'm gonna get you one way.
And I wanted
Aw.
to say hi to Jennifer Torres over there. How you doing, sweetheart? On Facebook. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we will see you all in a couple of hours. Actually, tomorrow's a couple of hour show. And hearts for everyone.
That's
Much love, much
Hearts.
respect, and it's such a love and life. Thank you, Lord. How did this happen
Yeah.
here?
Isn't it great?
Jules
Good.
found YouTube. Just don't forget that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
Now
God is good.
I remember how it happened.
I'll remind you if not.
Oh man,
All
thank you,
right.
Lord. Anyway,
Okay.
we'll see everybody tomorrow. Only in a couple of hours, so
That's
be
right.
safe.
It's like we end the show and we start again. So.
Oh my goodness.
All right, you
Thanks.
guys.
All right,
Good
so long,
night. Thank you for
everybody.
Good
joining
night.
us.
Thank you.
If you're looking for the truth, tune in to In Tune on the Patriots In Tune channel.